Hi, fifth grade friends. It's hard to believe that your time in elementary school is coming to a close. It's time for us to celebrate you, all of your accomplishments, and to record this transitional time in your life, going from elementary school to middle school. To do that, we are going to create a personal totem pole. A totem pole is a visual document. It tells stories, it gives information, and it records history. Let's find out a little bit more about totem poles and why we are using those as inspiration for this fifth grade promotion project.
A totem pole is a visual document. For native tribes of the Pacific Northwest, totem poles have served a number of roles. Sometimes it's a signpost saying hello or welcome. Sometimes they tell stories of people or events. The totem poles are not religious, but they do give other information through art. Notice that they have sections. In each section is a symbol or an animal. On top of the totem pole, it's usually an animal and often a bird. Many totem poles have wings. Here are some examples of contemporary artists exploring the totem pole. For our project, let's look at the work of artist Keisha Bruce for inspiration. She interprets the totem pole in two-dimensional works of art. Her totem poles are personal narratives. She combines drawing and collage and uses symbols to share her stories. Notice that she has an image of a person at the top of her totem pole, and most of her poles have wings.
The best way to start this project is by making a list, writing down things from elementary school, your favorite subjects, the things that you like to do, whether it's a field trip or a sport you like to play or an instrument or a book that you like to read or an art project that you love or something that you learned in science or a teacher or a best friend. But write down the things from elementary school that you remember and that you want to remember moving forward. So then you're going to make another list, a list of things that you're thinking about as you move to middle school, things that you're excited about, things that you're worried about, subjects that you're looking forward to exploring deeper, or maybe it's sports you want to play. But make a list, write these things down, all the things that matter to you, that are important to you, and that make up who you are today.
To start, these are the materials you're going to need. A piece of paper. It can be a standard cardstock piece of paper, or you could do a watercolor paper if you think you're going to paint your totem pole. You need your paper, you need your pencil and an eraser, and a straight edge or a ruler, and your list. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very light outline of the totem pole shape. I'm going to use a straight edge, and I've counted up how many sections I think I need to illustrate all the things on my list, and those are 9 of them. So I'm going to give myself 9 inches on my totem pole. It should be fairly middle of your paper, and you may be adding stuff on the sides and the top, but let's just start with this. So a very light trace around my straight edge. And we're drawing it light because we're going to do a lot of erasing in this project. All right, then I'm going to break my sections off into inches. So every inch, I'm going to give myself a little mark all the way up. Okay, so I have 9 sections. Again, I'm probably going to erase all of these lines, so I'm drawing them very lightly. They're just guides, or as I like to say, helper lines in this project. All right, so I have 9 sections of my totem pole. Okay, I'm looking at my list here, and one of the things I have on my list is a book. And you can think of a book as the foundation of learning, so I probably want to put that at the bottom of my totem pole. So I'm going to lightly sketch that idea. So I think I'm going to make my book open. There's the spine, there are the pages, there's the title, okay? And then in the next section, I'm looking at my list. I have art and tater tots and field trip and tetherball. Well, after reading, the next thing I like to do is eating. So I'm going to make myself a tater tot sitting on top of my book. Probably when I come in to color my totem pole, I'm probably going to put some ketchup next to that tater tot. All right, so I have my tater tot. Of course, the next thing I love to do is art. And one of the symbols for art is a paintbrush. And I think I want my paintbrushes to cross. I'm going to do more than one paintbrush. All right, so I have my book, my tater tot, my paintbrush. The next thing I love, I think about it all the time, is my field trips to Zuma Beach and watching the ocean. So there's my wave. And then I told you how much I love playing tetherball with my friends. So I'm going to make a ball. And I could use a stencil or I can freehand it. So I have my book, my tater tot, my paintbrushes, my wave at Zuma Beach, and my tetherball. Now I'm thinking, moving up, what are the things in middle school I'm really excited about? Well, I really want a locker. With a combination that I'm going to have to remember, I'm a little worried about that combination, but I'll figure it out. All right, now I hear that they have a swimming pool at my middle school. So something that represents a swimming pool, a good symbol for that is a splash. I'm really excited to have new friends. And we can look at some of the symbols for friendship. Is the infinity symbol for friends forever. The next thing I was really thinking about is spreading my wings. And I think for this, I'm going to do my wings on the side. A lot of totem poles, as we saw, have wings on the side. The wings I'm choosing are my favorite wings, and they are butterfly wings. And I'm going to make them kind of big. You can make your wings small or big, but they should be symmetrical, same on both sides. Your wings may be superhero wings. Your wings may be eagle wings. You pick the wings that tell your story the best. Last but not least, what are we going to put on the top? Now we could put a self-portrait. We could put a favorite bird or an animal that represents us, what we care about. I am thinking I am going to put an owl. An owl is really important to me because it shows wisdom and bravery. So let me see about drawing an owl. So I'm going to draw my owl up here. I'm just going to mostly focus on the head of the owl. And I'm not worrying if I'm going over my lines anywhere. Those are just guides, right? What we do know about owls is they have really big eyes. They're better to see you with. All right, so I think my beak needs to be a little bit bigger. So I have my rough outline of my totem pole. Now I'm going to come in and erase my helper lines so that the totem pole, that each element stacks on the other element, but we don't need those helper lines to guide us. We're going to take those away. Owl went above the top of the lines that I originally created as my helper lines. So just think of those as helper lines. They shouldn't limit you from things going on either side or up or down. I mean, you may even want to put a base on it, and that's up to you too. Next, I'm going to draw some more details. I want to give my butterflies some more details in the wings. And because they're butterflies and because they're wings, they're same on both sides. Okay, I think I have a good start, and now I'm ready to color. All right, you fifth graders have artist choice in the materials you use to color your totem pole. You can use markers, you can use colored pencils, you can use watercolor paints, you can use all three. Just remember, if you're going to use watercolor paint, please use your markers first, because if you use markers over wet paper, you ruin the markers, and that's sad. Here's the totem pole that I created. I have my book at the bottom, my foundation of learning, elementary school, my favorite books, my tater tot with some ketchup. Of course, art was my favorite subject. So I love art, some paintbrushes with some paint, my Zuma Beach field trip with the sun. A fly is visiting us. This is a tether ball hanging from the pole, totem pole, get it? My locker that I'm looking forward to having in middle school. I'm a little bit worried about that locker combination and remembering it. I'm excited to swim in the middle school pool. I'm excited to have more friends, new friends. And this is the sign of infinity, friends forever. The wings I chose to use for my totem pole are butterfly wings because I love butterflies and I love all the colors that are on the wings of the butterfly. And then I chose for the very top of my totem pole an owl. Owl is one of my favorite birds, but it's also a symbol of wisdom, knowledge. Yeah, so there I have my totem pole.
Okay, fifth graders, I can't wait to see the totem poles you create.